Hi, Steve Summers and Robby Boydstun for EDUC.com. Robby, another week. What's going on with Oregon recruiting?
Well, it was a little bit slow this week compared to last week, but we did get to talk to a couple of people this week, one with an offer, one who's very interested. I got to talk to Kurt Scobie, who's a running back, smaller running back. He's about 5'8", 200 pounds, out of Mission Hills, California. Goes to Alamany High School. He's bounced around to a few schools trying to find the right fit for him, and understandably that raises some red flags for people who've been following news about him. But in talking to him, he's a pretty sharp kid. We've seen comparisons of him. He's a bigger back, undersized, but again, he likes Oregon for the fact that they take undersized backs. He said that's specifically one of the reasons why he holds them in such a high regard despite not having an offer yet from them. He has an offer from Miami, Florida, and he has an offer from Oregon State as of now, but Oregon could be offering him soon. He's a kid that, if you're looking for a comparison in Oregon, he's kind of a mix between, in size, you're going to look more LaMichael, but if you're looking for running style, probably more of a Jonathan Stewart or more LeGarrette Blount, a ground and pound type of guy. He's not going to be the lightning quick. He's going to be the thunderback. Brandon Huffman, one of our national analysts, made a great comparison with him and Maurice Jones-Drew. He keeps his legs churning, so that's a kid that you want to look out for. One that I did talk to that had an offer was Caleb McGarry. We talked a little bit about him last week. 6'6", 272, offensive tackle. He's got just great fundamentals. Again, I stressed this last week, but go back, watch his tape. He keeps everything in front of him. Doesn't let anything get by him. He's just got great footwork, great hands, and the coaches seem to think so too. That's why they offered him. That's what he told me. And he's just, again, another soft-spoken kid, very humble. The coaches said they really liked the fact that he didn't have a huge ego, and he just works hard. He said one of the main reasons he likes Oregon is just, they don't care who you are, you're going to get on the field as long as you're playing hard. And not only that, it's going to provide him with a place to go to college. He'd be the first person in his family to go to college, and that's a very big deal for him, the first male in his family to go to college. So it provides a good academic opportunity for him as well. So those are just a couple of the stories that we've been working on this week.
Well, McGarry, of course, lives in Fife, which is just outside of Tacoma, but originally he was from Battleground, Washington, which is in the Portland metropolitan area.
Right. So there's going to be some people who are already familiar with him right now, and up there in Washington towards the Seattle area, he's in the Seattle-Tacoma area. There are some very talented prospects up there. We talked a little bit about Buda Baker last week. He's another talented prospect out of Washington. But McGarry's a kid who, and we've talked about this, Steve. You say he's a kid that just looks like an Oregon player, and definitely a kid that he's already got the offer out there. He's got about 9 offers as of right now, according to him. He's waiting to see, maybe Stanford's interested, maybe Tennessee's interested. He's waiting to see on them, and then he's planning on getting down to Oregon to visit. He's going to take a bunch of trips. He's already offered by a ton of Pac-12 schools, so he's going to try and take trips to Oregon, Oregon State, Cal. He's already been up to Washington for a junior day. So as we get towards that point where these kids start coming down for camps and stuff, McGarry's going to be a kid to definitely keep your eye on.
Well, I believe it's this weekend is the 7-on-7 tournament in Las Vegas that there will be a lot of attention to. I suppose then after that concludes this weekend, we'll start hearing more about those folks that participated in that tournament.
Yes, and if you want to follow the coverage right now, the national analysts are down there. That's taking place today and tomorrow. It's a very fun tournament for those who haven't checked it out. It does kind of profile who's going to be the next big thing in college football on the West Coast. Vontez Burfict was a kid who's played there. Several Oregon players as of right now. Michael Clay's been there. Marcus Mariota played there. DeAnthony Thomas was electrifying there. Cliff Harris didn't have the greatest ending with the Ducks, but he played there. Brian Bennett, same thing, he played there. So there are a lot of talented prospects. One kid that kind of stands out to me that is on Oregon's radar, and he even said that Oregon's one of his top 5 schools is a kid out of Fresno with the top wide receiver in the nation, Micaiah Quick. So that's a kid to keep your eye on. Looking for more news on him. Someone that you're going to want to keep your eye on out once 7-on-7 is over. Read about how he did. We'll get some updates on him, see how far that interest in Oregon goes. Also, if you're looking for state of Oregon prospects, kids that do play here, Aaron Washington from Central Catholic's going to be down there. Sam Bodine, who's been very highly touted, and the story's written about him already. He's from Canby High School. He'll be down there as well. He's a very talented linebacker. So definitely a lot of talent that's going to be down there. And I think after that also gives these kids a chance to kind of impress not only the writers, but also some of the coaches and stuff that get to go down there and see it. So it's a big deal. And, that's going to be a basis for a lot of kids to get offers in the future. They can kind of show off how good they really are in front of these guys' eyes.
Well, that's something to look forward to. So we're really sort of getting into this where there's going to be a lot of camps, a lot of folks are going to junior days at other places. In fact, the spring ball is starting to open up on a number of different Pac-12 programs. So recruiting for the 2014 classes, we're going to start getting more and more information from this point forward, don't you think?
I believe so. This is what they like to call the evaluation period, and we kind of alluded to it a little bit last week. The coaches are really just evaluating on tape, getting to know these kids, getting familiar with them, but now that they're having junior days, USC had theirs last week, Washington's had one, Oregon's going to have one, I believe, in April, and then they're going to have camps going out through the summer. You're going to see people going to national camps. There's a Rivals camp in Houston. Obviously, the opening is a big one in the Northwest. That'll be happening in July. And that's going to be a way for several Oregon targets at that point, which they should rack up more and more by then easily. That'll be a way for kids who are coming to Oregon who would by other means not really have a way of getting to Oregon. They come up, they can then take the couple-hour drive down from the Necky campus and go visit Eugene. I know Kurt Scobie said that he wants to do that if he does get to go to the opening. So we're going to see a lot more coming through just because of the evaluation period, and the coaches get to see them with their own eyes. You're going to see updated rankings. You're going to get a real feel of how great these kids from the 2014 class really are if you don't already know from just watching film and reading some of the stories. So it's definitely kind of an exciting time. We had the month lull now between signing day and trying to get to know these kids. Now it gets into, okay, how good are these kids really? Then you'll hit the summer lull, and then it'll go into, all right, we're going to see how good these kids are in their senior year. And also, one quick note, Oregon did pick up a new offer this week. A very talented kid back east in Georgia named Deshaun Watson. He's a ideal spread quarterback, essentially, for Oregon, if you watch his tape. And to give you an idea of how great he is statistically, threw for over 4,000 yards last year and 50 touchdowns, and then added another 24 on the ground. So the kid racked up 75 touchdowns by himself. That's pretty impressive. That's a kid that Oregon definitely wants to have an eye on. He's a soft verbal to Clemson right now. Obviously, it's very early in the game. This could change, going back and forth, but definitely a kid to keep your eye on because he might be the next kid, the next Marcus Mariota. You just don't know. So definitely keep an eye out for him.
Well, that's a lot to look forward to, and as always, Robby, great job on what's going on. So we'll talk to you again next Saturday. Yep. And for Robby Boydstun, this is Steve Summers with eDuck.com.